Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So I've got a couple of CDs by Pink Floyd I'm going to open. And I have a bit of a story about Pink Floyd. And for those that have watched my recent videos, I've finally realized after all these years what a great album Led Zeppelin's In Through the Outdoor is. I always liked it, but now I'm at the point where I just love the whole album. And I also listened to Presence, which I really enjoyed, although, between the two albums, I think I love In Through the Outdoor a bit more, although my favorite is Physical Graffiti. And so the other night, I listened to Houses of the Holy, which I've always liked it a lot, but it's never been one of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums. And so I thought, I hadn't heard it in probably a year or so, or close to a year. And I thought, I'll play it again, because I'm discovering music from the past I just seem to appreciate more these days. And so I will say overall, I enjoyed it more than ever. The one song that really stood out for me was the Rain song with John Paul Jones' synths in that. Just gorgeous. I've always really liked the song, but I just have a new appreciation, especially for that song. Over the Hills and Far Away, I always struggled with that guitar solo for whatever reason. It's one of my least favorite Jimmy Page guitar solos, but I really did enjoy it the last time I heard it. So I've kind of changed my mind even about that. I've never ever had a problem with the grunge. I think, once again, Led Zeppelin is just having fun. They're doing this James Brown kind of funky tune, doing it their way, and I think it's a fun track. I've never had a problem with it. And Did You Make Her, or however you pronounce it, I've always loved. But I know that some Led Zeppelin fans don't care for that song either. And the final song, The Ocean, I've always really liked. But I just, once again, have a new appreciation for that song, especially the ending where, and Robert Plant saying, so good. And it's like, yeah, it is so good. You could tell, it's kind of almost sounds live when they recorded that. I'm sure there were overdubs and everything, but yeah, so the only song I love all of the songs except No Quarter, which is great. I prefer the live version on The Song Remains the Same, though. But it's just, I think the way they treated Robert Plant's vocals on that song to make, atmospheric and maybe a little creepy. I've just never been a fan of that. So it's probably my least favorite song on the album. So I'm still trying to, love that song, and so far I just like it a lot. But overall, I enjoyed this album more than ever. And very quickly, I'll just say, I've always mentioned that London Calling is a great album, but I don't think I've played it probably more than 2 or 3 times in the past 5 years. And I played it again last night. The thing is with this album is there's no surprises when I listen to it. It's like, I guess I played it quite a bit when it first was released, and then I got tired of it. And through the years, it's like I know the songs so well. They're great songs. But I would definitely always prefer to listen to, Give 'Em Enough Rope or Sandinista especially. But still, I listened to this all the way through, and it was great. Just great songs. But maybe once a year I should listen to it, because it is fantastic. And I have been listening to more of the Beatles in mono. Very impressed with it. I think on my Canadian Studmuffin channel, maybe tomorrow, I'll do a partial review of what I've heard of this so far. And Blind Faith, I heard disc 2, which is all just jams. I guess some fans think it's boring or, it's not their favorite or whatever. But I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you again for this great gift, Dan. Now, on to Pink Floyd. I used to have most of the Pink Floyd albums on CD, the ones with David Gilmour, Roger Waters. And I still have 5 of them. I have their debut, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which I love. I have A Saucer Full of Secrets, which I love, their second album. I have Metal, and I gifted my buddy Morris Gautreaux, who's, slowly buying all of the Pink Floyd albums. I bought this for him about a month ago as a surprise. Check out his channel. Of course, The Dark Side of the Moon. I haven't played this in at least a year, but, I do know it very well, and it's one of the greats. And I played Wish You Were Here, which I had not played in maybe a couple of years. And once again, I have a new appreciation for it. I used to think the final Shine On You Crazy Diamond parts 6 to 9 was kind of repeating the first song, and it isn't. So yeah, I just absolutely love this album now, and I'll be playing this more. It's hard to say. I've always really liked this album a lot, but now I love it. And speaking of Morris, today you have another CD coming your way by a band called Pink Floyd. My viewers are great, and some of them send me CDs or whatever, and I really do appreciate it. But just know that I also give back to the community, and I had not recently, but I've done quite a few contests giving away lots of CDs and books and everything. And so, it's good. It's great to take, but I also give, right? So it goes both ways. Now, I was hoping the CDs would be here by now, but they're on their way today. I've ordered Pink Floyd's The Remix of Animals. That's an album that I used to have, and I just never, ever could get into it. I thought it was just okay, but I'm going to try it again. I don't know what Pink Floyd fans think of the remix, but that's the one I ordered. And also another album that I never really got into was Atom Heart Mother. It's on the way. I'm going to give it another go. I listened to probably 1/3 of the Atom Heart Mother side 1 a few days back, and I really enjoyed it. And then that's when I decided, okay, I don't want to listen to it anymore. I'm going to order it and give it another listen. So one of these CDs that I used to have is The Wall. And then I sold it probably like 5 years ago or so, because I never played it. But I remember when this came out, I was a huge, a very big Pink Floyd fan, and I love this. I played it quite a bit. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of Roger Waters' politics and all that, and all the infighting with the band. It kind of turns me off of bands like that. But I'm going to, I do know most of this very well. I think I played probably CD 1 a lot more than side 2, or especially side 4. I was a big fan of Waiting for the Worms, Stop, The Trial, Outside the Wall. But I'm going to give it another go and really, really listen to it. So there it is. I'm sure most of you have seen this. Nice little booklet. All right, now to end this, it's Pink Floyd related. And I had heard this person's solo albums on Spotify in the last few months. Just, bits of them, going over some of the songs. It's like, this sounds really good. I should get one of these, or I want to get them all at some point. But yeah, I was really impressed with the songs. So I finally have my very, very first Syd Barrett album, The Madcap Laughs, which I've never heard the whole album. So you Syd Barrett fans out there, let me know what you think of this. I loved his songs with Pink Floyd. Nice little booklet. And that is it. Yeah. So, kind of the reason I do these videos, it's like I always say, it's not just to talk about myself and what I love and don't love, but it's, connecting with other music fans. And I would love comments on whatever, the Beatles in mono, Pink Floyd. I definitely want to get more Pink Floyd. The thing is, I don't even know if I ever want to have the final cut again. I did have that on CD, but that would be where I would stop, because I really didn't have any interest with the David Gilmour years without Roger Waters. I have heard those albums. And that is it. Looking forward to your comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.